12,690 pounds, wide body, deep slide, open range, middle bunkhouse, or bonus room, whatever you want to call it here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Only a couple little tweaks, just kind of tightening little screws compared to the last generation, a few interior updates, although they made a significant change to their little camp kitchen over here. It's a little different. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. They moved the location of the sink. Instead of the sink being part of the thing that slides out, which made it really shallow and frankly not super handy, you couldn't even wash your hands in it. You could just sort of, you know, play pitter-patter in some water. They gave it a real sink with a drain to a holding tank. You still have Dad's medicine cabinet outside here. We've got galvanized rolled steel counters, but then instead of a, you know, 2 or 3 burner cooktop, they've started to include with it this really cool, very, I think, industry kind of trending little griddle system right here. Now what's kind of cool about this, the whole thing kind of heats, so it heats a little more evenly, so it's really good if you're doing like pancakes or bacon or something. But this whole thing removes, so if you want to take that right off there and really scrub the life out of it, you can. And that's one of the things I like about Open Range. They're always willing to do something a little bit different, little left to center, and you know, try something a little odd. And in this case, I think they really nailed it. I bet in a couple years you're going to see more brands copying that little widget right there. Now with that slide out closed, you're not getting to anything in the living room. You can get to the loft, the bathroom, the bedroom, that's it. So we're just going to kind of gloss over that portion of our video. And instead we're going to focus on a couple things that are really like Open Range defining, and in some cases they are industry exclusive. First of all, I want to direct your attention down to the floor. Usually I work from the top down. Today we're going to work from the bottom up. Because not only do they have no floor vents in Open Range RVs, in any of their laminated RVs, they also have no carpet within their slide outs. They have the industry's exclusive, only floor flush slide system that is also completely carpetless. That makes this thing exceptionally easy to clean, kid-friendly, pet-friendly, and due to the fact that their slide outs are 6 inches deeper. They run a 42-inch deep slide versus an industry standard 36. And it is also 6 inches taller, measuring 7 foot inside versus a common 6.5. They have by far the biggest slide outs here. It makes it a true like slide room feel, because you can stand in the slide out as though it was the main floor deck, and it really maximizes and expands your living space. And as if that wasn't enough, as if having a bigger, deeper, taller slide wasn't enough, they also have a linear exterior roof line, which means it doesn't taper down in the back. It stays tall all the way through. And they have a 4-inch wider body. So this thing is like a foot wider than almost anything else in its class. It's got more overhead room in the living room to give it this big, expansive feel. We have whisper ducted air conditioning, so you never have to look at the AC, which gives them the ability to put in this really big, cool light fixture up here. And you might notice how we have extra tall overhead cabinets in the back. They do a lot of things different on a floor plan that is otherwise industry standard. It's like everybody and their brother has a middle bunk or bonus room or middle den or office or whatever you want to call it. So why, you know, is Open Ranges the most popular? Interestingly, Open Range has the most experience with this concept. They released the very first middle bunkhouse like in 2009, I think. So literally all other mid bunkhouses are some variant of an Open Range. They've just been doing it longer and have more experience. The cool thing is, I think because of their body style, it gives you the most possible living space versus any other mid-bunk bonus room. And if you think about it, the entire focal point of a middle bunkhouse is not the middle bunkhouse. It's the fact that you maintain this huge, like, kind of luxury fifth wheel living space inside of something that has bunkhouse sleeping capacity. You can see that we have that no neck wrecker entertainment with that big flat screen directly across from those heated massage theater seating. We've got a hide-a-bed on the rear wall here. That what's kind of cool about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that it gives us the ability to have 4 separate sleeping zones in this RV, whereas a bunkhouse basically gives us the bedroom and the bunk room. This one allows you to have multiple people in multiple different locations all at the same time, enjoying their own individual privacy. Something that's easy to miss here, though, is this is a larger tri-fold sleeper sofa hide-a-bed at the back. It doesn't visibly look like it, though, because you're like, what do you mean it's larger? I still see normal size side stands. Like, there's power outlets down there. That's cool. That means that this tri-fold hide-a-bed in the back is Did I say Haida Fed? Whatever, I don't even care anymore. We're rolling with it, we're doing it live. But it's CPAP friendly or phone charger friendly, whatnot. But remember the wider body of this RV. That allowed them to put a bigger sofa in here and still maintain normal size side stands on both sides of this. But here's what's kind of cool. That extra big body and deeper slide allows for a couple more things. Not only can you still use this theater seat over here when the hide-a-bed is open, you might notice you can still recline that far chair over there, and you can still fully kick back and fully recline into like the napping position, the sofa over here. And it's kind of cool that it allows you that extra ability. So like I was saying, you've got the ability to sleep somebody back here in the living room on the hide-a-bed, maybe a little kid on the theater seat if need be, but probably not considering all the sleeping in this model. You've also got the loft, the middle bonus room, and the master bedroom. There are 4 separate sleeping zones in this RV, which is cool, and you might notice how all of those massive, oversized windows have roll-down blackout shades. If you want it to just be hard blotched out and private in here, you can absolutely do that. Now, above that sofa, I mentioned that there's a bigger cabinet up there, but why tell you when I can show you? We're watching a video, right? So not only is it a full height rear cabinet because the roof line does not taper down, which means the RV is a little bit bigger, a little heavier, but you get more for it. You know, it's not like it's just a wasted space. And they even doubled the storage by throwing a shelf up there. That's pretty awesome. It's also an easy chance to get to see the hidden hinges that you have throughout the construction. And this is all pocket screwed cabinetry, by the way. Pretty normal in fifth wheels, but I do still like to mention it. Now, we've kind of glossed over the fact there's a ton of massive windows in this thing, but I want to take a second to look right here because you can see that whether it's the sofa or the theater seat or whatever, every window opens for airflow. And because you have a taller, deeper slide, you have more and larger windows over here on the camp side of the RV. So, if you really want to enjoy looking at your campsite instead of looking at the neighbors, which is the case when the windows are on the opposite side of the RV, this layout, more than almost any other, does that for you. And if we peek up into the hallway, you can see that there's a hallway window and the main entry door itself has a full window, and there are privacy shades for both of those. The door itself has its own shade. So, I mean, man, it's just the extra height, the depth of that slide in those big windows. That is one of the things. See, that's the thing, is that there's plenty of other middle bunkhouses. There's not another one like an open range. That's the thing, is that they are deceptively unique. You just don't realize how different they are. The dining table over here, the back section can flip open. There's a little storage in the area that's next to the window. You might spy that there is an extension leaf right down there below the table line. As we pan around over here into the kitchen, it's very obvious. You see that big stainless sink, the high-rise faucet, the sprayer head on it, big old farm sink at that, so you can get some pots and pans in there. And it's baby friendly. If you've got a baby, you need to give them a little sink bath. Easy spot to do it, because, you know, it's hard to do that kind of in the shower. You have to bend over and throw your back out. I joke about that, but that's literally what happened to my wife. Now, you will find easy reach appliance outlets here, like there's some right on the island face on both ends of the island if you look right under that countertop line. Again, we don't have any sort of floor vents or carpet. There are more appliance outlets over here under the microwave area. Nice little kind of coffee maker, blender corner, something like that. But as you look around, you look at this middle bunkhouse wall, and for a moment, you would maybe think that you're losing out on something like pantry space. But you would be not correct in that assessment. This is a little tricky to get to. Kind of like the storage above the sofa, though, they just didn't let anything go to waste. They utilized every little space they possibly could. Now, as I back up here, you start to see where all the pantry and dry storage space comes into play. Because this is one of the best examples of what I like to call a pantry-tainment center you're ever going to find. Having all the big open spaces, the side shelves, they leave you, what's kind of cool is you can sort of use this a number of different ways. If you want to, you could put a satellite or a Blu-ray or something in this lower pocket, or you could put it up in the middle, or, you know, you could use this for DVD or Blu-ray shelves if you had a Blu-ray player. You could do anything you want with it. That's the thing. It's big, deep, functional storage space that is very, very easy to access. And it's deceptively good. You don't realize it because most entertainment centers are not good storage spaces in RVs. Then down below here, they do two things I really like. You've got what I like to call the pop-out pantry, where the little shelves slide open to you. Very handy for like box goods, things that can kind of get shoved back in the corner of a big tall pantry. And down below the larger 22-inch stainless face oven, you have a nice open like kind of container slot. That's very handy for things like well, like trays if you want to cook cookies or biscuits or whatever. You know, you can do that there. The pantry within the slide itself, in addition to the pantrytainment, you have a normal traditional pantry as well, next to a convection microwave oven. So these have had a larger size oven or microwave for the last couple of years, and now they're just kind of going up to convection more as a matter of happenstance. Now that is a full wall backsplash. It's easy to miss the fact, like if you look at inside the pantry, that's what the normal wall looks like. So this is a protected backsplash over here. And you can see that between the flush mount stove and there is a sink cover included with this, you've actually got some pretty respectable prep space here. One other thing I want to mention before we take a look at the island is that refrigerator. You have different fridge options in this. We can get anything you'd like. If you would like it built a different way, no sweat. You give us a call, we'll do whatever you'd like, guys. But there's a reason that we like to build these with that 18 cubic foot gas and electric fridge freezer over here. It's traveling friendly. It is made to be bounced and jounced down the road, which a residential refrigerator is not designed to do. It's off-grid friendly, and even if you're in a park, if you lose power, it has the ability to automatically change over from electric to propane to make sure that you don't lose anything. Whether you're on-site or off-site, you're always going to have that peace of mind and backup plan. As I mentioned, there are sink covers included with this. I just wanted you to get to see that big farm sink. It's a cool, popular, very handy feature. We're actually redoing our kitchen at my house, and we're going to put a bigger farm sink in there because it's just easier to do big pots and pans. You got the rollaway aluminum drying rack, also that bamboo sink cover, and you can see those things can easily be like prep space. Now this is kind of handy for like little utensils or handy little objects. You've got a like big pots, pans, storage compartment next to it. I love the fact though that you have a wastebasket built right into the kitchen area here, but you're not stuck with just one single crappy little drawer in this floor plan. You've got drawers to the floors over here. There are 5 traditional drawers all within arm's reach from the sink for the campsite chef and your family. Plus remember you got things like that slide open perfect pantry. But here, the signature calling card of this floor plan is the middle bunk, bonus room, whatever you want to call it. I think Open Range has done one of the best jobs of a lot of different manufacturers who build these nowadays of creating a hyper multifunctional space. If you look, they've done a great job of truly giving us like a desk or entertainment arrangement in here. So if you wanted to, like, but I think you can fit a 40-inch screen in that, and there's good cabinet storage in here. If you do want to turn this into an office, if you're work camping, that's the cool thing with the middle bunkhouses. The only problem we have with middle bunkhouses is we never see return customers when we sell them a middle bunkhouse, because they never need to update or upgrade their camper. If it's a bunkhouse for now, it will convert into a couples camper with a second living area. And check this out. They revamped this last fall and they moved washer dryer prep in this model down here into this room. But what it creates, if you don't care about the washer dryer, which statistically 98% of people don't, that is a true fact by the way, you're just going to enjoy a huge extra bonus closet in here. But like I said, you can use this for more than just an office space. If you want to, you could easily convert this into a separate private sleeping area. And true to form, they did it a little bit different with a bifold sofa as opposed to a trifold. Now, I like how this thing works. It basically works the same way as a trifold. It just doesn't quite stick out so far, but it's wider. So it still opens up to just about the same amount of sleeping space as a trifold. So it's still decent for a big person, but it's not as bossy in the room, and it doesn't bump right up against that big cabinet, so you can still walk around it if need be. Now, from there, we're going to start heading up through the hallway, and I'm happy to see that they've moved the ladder back here into the hallway area, as opposed to the previous build version of this, it was right here. So it's like a ridiculously tall ladder, and it worked. It was okay. I just like that it's not there. Now, it's cool that they have a little place to like hang a jacket right here, but it also benefits from a dedicated sort of middle hallway closet right here. And that's one of those things that I've always been kind of annoyed about when an RV doesn't have something like this. There's no place to hang a jacket. A fifth wheel anyway. A big fifth wheel like this needs a spot. So your command center's down here. It's I love that it has its dedicated light, so you can always see it, whether it's daytime, nighttime, whatever. But you can keep it away from the little kids. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Now this thing up here, you can use, obviously, as a loft bunk. You could easily peel this out and just use it as cargo storage space. I love the fact that they finish it off. You don't see any raw construction over here. And you also have this safety gate here, so the kids aren't going to accidentally fall out of bed or anything like that. But if you look forward, you've got these handy little shelves up here. They're good for all the kids' little treasures, but you've got both household and USB plugs, as well as a TV prep area up here. So if you wanted to, you could turn this into something like an entertainment game station or loft or whatever. You know, there's just... every room in this RV gives you like maximum functionality, and when it is bedtime, lights out, kids. We can kill the lights and no big deal. Pardon me as I close this little thing right here. Now the bathroom in this floor plan is very cool. This is something Open Range does a lot. This bathroom is very reminiscent of a wide body toy hauler bathroom, and for good reason, because this is a wide body coach. Actually, if you look at the profile of it, it looks a lot like a toy hauler from the outside since it doesn't taper down in the back. But like a big luxury fifth wheel, we've got this extra large shower here that is a seamless one-piece molded fiberglass shower. You can literally jump stomp in this thing, never gonna hurt it. You've also got that dedicated little corner seat right there. So if you need to sit or prefer to sit to bathe, shave your legs, clean up a kiddo, a doggo, whatever, you've got the space to do it. Porcelain foot flush stool and plenty of legroom right here. So whether it's legroom in front of the toilet or if it is, you know, room to get dressed getting out of the shower, you've got it either way. Another thing you get here, a lot of times in these bathrooms, you get either a good shower or good storage, and the wide body nature of this gives you a good shower, good storage, and a second entry door that you could always leave slid shut if you're not so inclined. Up top, we've got some deep dedicated linen space. You want to put some big towels and whatnot in there, you absolutely have the ability. This extra open pocket right here, what's kind of cool is this really doubles as your countertop space. Because if you take a look, like, you've got a sealed edge countertop, you've got a recessed sink, so there's a little bit of counter space there, just enough for some toothbrushes. But if you really need the extra room, the counter space opens up and comes to you. Plus you've got that nice nook and cranny and alcove in the back there, maybe good for some extra body washes or something like that. And kind of like the kitchen, you've got plywood drawers down to the floors in this thing. You also have, it's easy to miss, locking hallway door. And it's still shocking to me today how many things don't have that. They have a very basic version of One Control on this, and it's here for one specific reason. You can sync your phone to this thing and control your auto leveling system. So if you want to be in your vehicle and you want to raise and lower, or I guess I should say raise and lower, the nose of your fifth wheel to get hitched up, you don't necessarily need somebody standing under the gooseneck, which is kind of dangerous, frankly. Not severely, but a little. And going up, down, nope, forward, back, whatever, you can do all of it right from your phone. You can also activate your full leveling system right from your phone. Just little details that are cool. Important thing to note is we have applied two very big upgrades here in the bedroom. First of which is the second centralized air conditioner, and both of them tie into the central ducting to give you better airflow. Secondly is the king bed upgrade versus the 60 by 80 queen. We've got a 70 by 80 king in here. The queen's still available, but we have found a huge outcry from people looking at something like this, really wanting, expecting, and kind of demanding a king bed. Now you can see you've got that big closet on the left side there. You know, it looks like a very traditional bedroom front end at first glance. But if you look down, you can see there's sort of like the floor of the closet's built up a little bit. That's because they build a bonus dresser into that closet. Trying to crawl around down on the floor up in that corner, not real easy. So instead, once again, they make the storage come to you, and that raises the floor of the closet up where it's now very easy to access. But there's still plenty of room, plenty of height for hanging things. Now, if you notice, we've got plywood, easy lift bed decking here, and a big bed storage pocket chest thing right here. This is something that not all fifth wheels have under the bed, so it is something I still like to point out. And you might have noticed how one of our lights kind of faded out. You've got motion lighting down here, so that if you wake up at night, you need to walk through everything, you need to like get through the hallway, you can do that. And that sensor also activates this light here in the hallway. So again, like if you hear a kid up in the loft or in the mid bunk or somebody making noise, as you wake up, it will organically light your way through and then turn off when you're not using it. You know, it's just simple, smart, cool. Normally, this is the kind of area I would say you have a washer-dryer prep closet here. But remember, on this floor plan, our washer-dryer hookups are down in the middle bunk bonus room, or maybe we should call it the laundry room. I guess that's yet another use that we could have for it. And you see the little, it's not a miniature bunk cushion. It's not a baby pad. It's a little, I don't know, it's kind of Fido-friendly. As part of the pet-friendly sort of aspects that they have in these open ranges, they include that little pet pad right there. They've got a big, long dresser at the base of the bed. There is a set of USB plugs on the right side there as well for phone charging. And if you choose to add a TV up here into the bedroom, you might notice how the whole mount is actually angled down. So even the bedroom TV is something of a no-neck wrecker. So I kind of jumped the ship on my original order here. We've already looked at the updates on that camp kitchen. Again, I think it's pretty cool that they're going with more of a griddle than a burner situation. I also think it's kind of wind-shielded in that little slide open enclosure. So I think that that'll tend to work pretty well. Now over here, we've got a very large stable step system. That big 4-plank step arrangement will make coming and going very easy, especially in conjunction with that anti-slam door that is easily missed as a residential height door. Because you look at it, you say, well, it's not quite as tall as a slide out. Remember, that's a 7-foot slide. So it's 6 inches taller, 6 inches deeper than normal over here. So that is a very good sized door. It just doesn't look as large because it's next to a massive slide out. Just take another quick pass through over here as long as I'm in the vicinity. But one of the things I wanted to show you is the way that they handle the propane tanks on these open ranges. And at a glance, you're going, dude, seriously? 2 20-pound tanks? If you've never seen an open range, you're like, yeah, I'm tuning out. This is a bunch of crap. If you've seen an open range, then you know that if you peek through into the opposite side here, then you see a third tank. It still has 60 pounds of propane. They just use 20-pound tanks so that they're easier to exchange, they're lighter weight, and I like how the tray slides open to you. Now, all of our baggage doors and everything are fully laminated, you know, full thickness, so that you do have a good thermal barrier between inside and outside. And this thing does have a pretty good pass-through storage compartment, as you can see. You might notice on the right-hand side there is a battery disconnect. Probably would have been a little smarter of me to leave a basement light on in there, but there is lighting on both sides of that pass-through, so there's a handy little note. And there is a simple side-mount solar prep plug kind of hiding behind that open propane door there as well. I'd like to direct your attention down toward the jacks. Couple things there. We do like to outfit these with the 6-point automatic leveling system so that you've got that ease of setup, and it does give it the supreme stability of having all those extra points of contact. If you're going to get cute and count the tires, you're going to call it a 10-point contact stability system, but it's a 6-point auto leveling. I think people can grasp that well enough. So I've already beat to death the fact that this has a wider body and deep slides. I'm going to try to let that go, but it's such a huge part of the recipe, basically, of the open range product here. We have laminated aluminum framed sidewalls, aluminum frame floor with a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking. We're going to get up on the roof, which also has a plywood roof decking as well. So we saw the inside of that pass-through baggage door, but what I like is how they have their like outside sort of hookup compartment completely separated from the pass-through. That's a little bit different from how most brands do it. Usually, if you open this door, like a third of it at least is used up by this. So the fact that they put that separate, I don't know, it's just a little bit different. It's a little bit cooler to me. It does mean that the upper deck has to be a little longer to accommodate that extra size, but obviously it can get it done. Here's a neat thing too. This does have a larger 10-gallon gas and electric simultaneous use fast recharge water heater. So that means roughly 22 gallons of hot water per hour. That is pretty cool. That's the kind of thing you tend to see on those big, like, Pinnacle, Montana type things here. Whereas this comes in more like the budget of, say, a Montana high country, but more with the features kind of close of, like, say, a North Point, something like that. Now, every manufacturer and their brother loves to talk about their thermal package nowadays. And the thing is, the RV consumer market has really pretty much said, we absolutely want things that have that, like, 0 degree functionality. And Open Range has had that for years. In point of fact, they've actually had among, if not at times, the very best of the cold camp ratings that we have from any brand here at Haylett RV. But they were the ones that really kind of did it better, stronger, harder, a little bit before everybody else. Like, not only does this have a radiant barrier through the roof, but you also have an enclosed, forced air heated, insulated underbelly that does have a radiant barrier in the belly as well, that also has a forced air circulation system. So the heat that you're pumping into the underbelly actually cycles back up through and helps heat the bathroom floor. It's a neat extra thing they do, and keeping that airflow moving instead of just encapsulating the basement compartment is one of those things that helps them achieve those better cold camp ratings. There are a few different main suspension types used in the RV industry. Open Range, kind of like their Jayco cousins, have swapped over to using Dexter axles and suspension systems. I think that whether it's Dexter, MoRide, Equiflex, Road Armor, whatever, I think that anything is better than nothing. But I know that name, that Dexter name, it is just absolutely just legendary in terms of, like, reliability and function. And as with a lot of other things on these Open Ranges, there's a few small, but I think critical details that are easy to miss that I do want to point out. So, most RVs, when you get up to this rear wall, you've got a like a plastic cap screw trim. Open Range is actually using a formed aluminum bracing right here to help lash the sidewall and the rear wall together. They do that all the way around the RV effectively. This is just a higher grade component, which means less care, maintenance, and upkeep required from you, the owner, and you'll see that trend repeated up on the roof when we talk about the roof membrane. Now, if I take a knee down here, I kind of mentioned the Strongarm Stabilizer jacks up front, and if not, I really meant to, but these things are amazing at keeping your RV stable at your campsite. So not only do we have that 6-point leveling system, but with both lateral and longitudinal stabilizer jacks up front, plus angle-mounted jacks on the back here, this thing will feel like it is on a concrete slab when you get to your campsite. The tube right here, this is to keep your sewer hose separate from everything else. Thankfully, more and more brands have kind of gotten on the ball with that. It is one of those things that I like. It just kind of helps prevent some cross-contamination. And as we wheel around the backside here and wheel over toward the main side, a couple things. You will see that good-looking frameless window package. Good Lord, that speaker is loud today. You'll see that good-looking frameless window package, but our big slide here, we do maintain slide side sliding breeze windows. That word slide gets used quite a bit in that sentence, but every one of those is appropriate. So what's nice here is you get good airflow, you get good visibility, airflow whether it's rainy day or not. Also, all the windows here, they're over on your campsite, remember. You get to enjoy a look at your site and not the neighbors. And just before we hop up to the roof, I do want to make mention of the receiver hitch that we have on the back here. So if you want to add things like a bike rack to your camper, or a small cargo tray to maybe hold a generator, you can do so without voiding that awesome 3-year structural warranty. And yet again, up on the roof, something that looks normal, but is a little bit different on an Open Range. The entire roof membrane. Nearly, and I mean almost every single other thing used in the RV industry. It might be called Alpha Ply, it might be called Dicor, it might be called Alpha Flex, or, you know, EPDM rubber, TPO, etc. Almost every one of those things is nearly chemically identical, and they all come from almost the exact same supplier. Open Range is one of the few exceptions to that rule. They use a PVC-based roof membrane up here, and there's a couple key differences between it. It does not promote the growth of black algae. What that means is you're not going to have to deal with near the aggressive nature of those black streaks washing down the side of your RV. Secondly, it is lighter, it is brighter, it reflects more sunlight, and the membrane itself requires no specific maintenance to upkeep its warranty. Now, what I did not say is this is not a maintenance-free roof. I'm not saying that, nor will I ever. You still have things like seals, which, man, do they do a real heavy-handed job of sealing these things up from open range, which I really appreciate. But the membrane itself requires no specific maintenance to maintain its warranty. Remember, if somebody ever tells you that this RV has, any RV you're looking at, they say, well, that RV over there has a 10-year roof warranty, and that one has a 12-year, and that's 15, and that's 18, or it doesn't matter what number they say. If they say that has a 10-year roof warranty and then they stop talking, they are a snake oil salesman, and you need to get the crap away from them, because the membrane might have that specific warranty, but nothing under it has that warranty. But that's not the impression they're trying to give you. I don't sling snake oil at Haylett RV. None of us do. We were taught and raised better than that, and that's just the culture of our store as dictated from our ownership. So I've already mentioned the lighter, brighter roof membrane here reflects more sunlight, keeps the RV cooler. We've also got roof attic vents to exhaust the extra heat built up inside of the roof construction itself. And not only is the roof traditionally insulated, but it does have a radiant barrier standard as well to help keep the sunshine out of this thing. That's why we, you know, if you're going to be hot, cold camping, something like that, if you're not sure where you're going to be, open range RVs have the capacity to take care of you here. Another neat little note on the hot camping subject, you've got your standard 15,000 BTU air conditioner all the way back here. But if we look all the way up front, you've got another air conditioner all the way up there. That way you've got good airflow at the opposite ends of your trailer, and they're both pushing air toward the middle. So no matter where you're at, you get good, effective, even cooling. They're on the ball, and we're on top of it. I mean, literally, we're on top of it, the trailer, right now. Ha! See what I did there? Dad jokes, thank you. Anyway, I'm sure you've had enough of hearing my voice today. So whether it's hitching pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between, you could drown in our sea of inventory here at Haylett RV. Now remember, we don't do hidden dealer fees, but we do everything else. So if you're looking for simple, easy, fun, and no nonsense, come visit us right here at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.